Hello. Wanted to talk to you about the 5 books of Moses. We read two, Genesis and Exodus, but Leviticus. Do you have leprosy? Leprosy. You can be crippled, blind, deaf, various things with that disease that cause all that. But I'm looking at the Bible here for the literary aspect. Okay, what is the book trying to tell me? What's the story? So, Genesis and Exodus. Genesis is the beginning. Exodus is how to get rid of a tyrannical government and create your own. And then Leviticus, leprosy. Let's see. Leprosy, what word was that translated from? I believe it's THZRAAT. You got to put your tongue at the top of your teeth and the rat. You got to get that. The rat is what it is. Zerat. Okay? So that's the word that was translated from, and what that means is a spiritual affliction. Now, what is a spiritual affliction? Well, first thing is it's in your mind. Okay? So, if you got to the 3rd book of the Bible, Leviticus, and you got leprosy, if you're not understanding that the Bible is about building nations also. See, you're only communicating one way. You're only understanding the religion. There's law there too. It's about building nations. So, got to check yourself. Losing you. Do you have leprosy? Are you crippled, blind, deaf in your mind? Does Jesus need to save you or help you? Or, are you in hell? Do you need to be brought over into heaven? Did you have your soul stolen from the Bible? Did you just believe it was just all religion? I don't know. So, anyways, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, Leviticus, crazy on religion, drunken on religion, you're not understanding, you're crippled, blind, deaf in your mind. Then you got Numbers. Numbers are using the Ark of the Covenant to get the people to stand up for their nation and protect their nation and putting their names in there and so on and so forth. And then you got Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy is what your Lord God and your God, your government, what's expected of you. It's telling you a story. I don't know how much of it you follow, how much of it you don't, but, are you stuck on religion, blind, crazy, and crippled in your mind? I don't know. I'm just talking about the 5 books of Moses. See, Genesis, God creates the earth. That's 1. 2, he creates man, gives man domain over the earth, which makes man Lord God. Genesis 3, Lord God, the government's created. At the end of 3, I think it's 3:24, takes the cherubim, places them at the Garden of Eden to protect the tree of life, knowledge of good and evil. The tree of life doesn't have an evil branch on it. One supreme God, no gods before him, perfect pattern in your mind. That's what you always go back to for comparison. That's your anchor point. So then there's a double-edged sword of fire. When law and religion are together, the sword's got fire. How can religion hurt me? How can law hurt me? How can they both hurt me? How can they help me? You can see how they can help you too. So but that sword's a thinking concept. It's right there. And then, Sodom and Gomorrah and Egypt were Christian nations. Lot was over Sodom and Gomorrah doing some preaching, and Joseph was over Egypt for a while, and they were both Christian nations. That's for Revelations. That's farther on in the Bible, you know. And then there's a lion pit in Genesis, or a pit with no water. See, the water's information. The lion pit, that's just instinct, no knowledge, you know. But those are different translations from different Bibles. One Bible says it's a lion's pit. One Bible says it was a pit with no water. It's translations. So then that you got Genesis there, and you got the concept, and then you get into Exodus. That it's important when Moses' father-in-law comes and talks to Moses, and Moses is preaching and judging over everybody day and night, and he's like, you can't do that. You're going to lose your nation. You need to teach other people to do that. And so he puts people over that and stuff like that. And then he probably realized people were crazy on religion, so he did Leviticus for that understanding, you know. But yeah, Moses' father-in-law comes and talks to him. You don't know how important that is to think about, you know. That was before he went up the mountain and got the patterns, you know. But yeah, then he gets the patterns for the Ark of the Covenant was protected by a veil. On one side of that veil, people were crazy on religion. On this side, they're in heaven if they understand there's law with the religion, you know. You know. Then you got they're all in the tabernacle. So, you know, the tabernacle, if you look up patterns on your phone there, you can look up patterns, how many times it's in the Bible, and it'll come up 36 times. Read some of the stuff in there. When you get to the one where it says, when they're all ashamed, tell them what's outside the entrances and exits of the tabernacle. You know, there's a story to be told there for understanding. Look that up. You know. But so anyways, you got Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. Yeah, that's about it, you know. Anyways, yeah, like I said, you got the small concept in Genesis, the larger concept in Exodus. Is the Bible a concept? Because when you read Revelations, it tells you God's the Alpha and the Omega. So if you get the God structure right in the beginning of the Bible, it actually has an end when he comes back and renews his covenant with you. You know? That tells you God gets the crown. It's not about the crucifixion. It's a different understanding. It's not a different. I don't know. Don't be blind in your mind and see and listen to what something's telling you when you're reading. That was written by 70 scribes. You don't know how many people picked over it, took books out, and so on and so forth. That's why you got the perfect pattern as your anchor point. You know, so you don't lose yourself. You don't get your soul stolen. You know, you just get an understanding and knowledge. But I mean, you learn how every government on earth works. If you got a Lord God, you're a Lord. If you got an evil Lord God, it's not in your nature to follow him. Well, what's that make you? Lord God. That's an understanding. That's the mercy seat on the Ark of the Covenant. So you got the sword in Genesis. Then in Exodus, you got the mercy seat. That's another thinking concept. That's what that. When you understand that and you sit out in your nice quiet place and you just think about that Ark of the Covenant and what's inside of it and how it works, it gives you more understanding. You know? Yeah. But anyways, I'm just trying to read the Bible and understand what the story is that the Bible is actually telling me by the words that are actually in it. That's all. So, and anyways, that's the 5 books of Moses. That's what he was trying to explain, is how to get rid of a tyrannical government, build your own, get your armies together, telling the people what your God expects of you and stuff. And Genesis, the beginning. Exodus, how to get rid of the tyrannical government and build your own. Leviticus, drunken, crazy, blind, crippled, can't see here or whatever, drunken on religion. Numbers, getting your armies together, and Deuteronomy, how you should be. Just read the book, understand what it's saying to you, don't freak out, and enjoy the literary understanding of the Bible. Bye.